Here's how long you should study for each section of the CPA exam. This is another question that I get asked all the time. Now, whether it's 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks per section, it's hard for me to say this is exactly how long you should study for each section. But what I can say for sure is that it should definitely not be more than 2 months per section. There's a bunch of problems with spacing your sections way too far apart. The first problem will be you don't have any sense of pressure. It's easy for you to feel like, oh, well, I'm too tired to study today. It's not a big deal because I still have 3 months left, or I still have 8 weeks left. Your study window should be small enough that you feel a sense of pressure to the point where you realize that every single day matters. So what I typically tell our clients is you want to spend 4 to 5 weeks on sections like audit and BEC, and then maybe 5 to 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks on FAR or REG. The other big problem with spacing sections too far apart is you're leaving way too long for you to just forget all the stuff that you've studied previously. Now, again, if those timelines sound really short, it really comes down to how quickly and efficiently you can move through the material, obviously. And when you're following our study strategies, which you can learn from one of those free study trainings at our main website, SuperfastCPA.com. Once you attend one of those trainings, you'll be able to see why it's possible to move through the material that quickly and still have a week or maybe even 2 weeks left over as your final review. But again, of course, I don't recommend the regular final review. What most people do is spend those 2 weeks going over their weak areas. There's a much more efficient way of doing it, and we have other videos on that on our YouTube channel. So to recap, I would say for the harder sections, or the ones that have more material, such as FAR and REG, you want to go somewhere between 5 to 8 weeks. And I would say 8 weeks being the absolute maximum. And then for audit and BEC, somewhere between 4 and 5 weeks, with maybe 6 weeks being the absolute maximum. Because again, you want the timeline to be short enough that you feel the pressure, or you realize that each day matters, and that it's not too long in between so that you give yourself too much time to just forget all these things that you've covered. But again, the re-review strategies you'll learn on one of our free trainings solves the retention problem, including doing the idea of mini sessions, which basically means using something like our study tools to study throughout the day instead of wasting time on social media in little 5-minute chunks all throughout the day. While you're studying for your exam, you instead replace that with extra CPA review, which you can do effectively from your phone using things like our study tools.